Welcome to the Excuse Me Brother podcast. I'm your host tonight. It is Brother Tay, and with me, only one and only one I need the most. Because he does all my editing and everything else, so I don't have to work.
Make life easier for you.
Absolutely, because it was a lot harder when it wasn't without.
What's up, Tay?
I'm exhausted.
Yo, not for nothing. Right before we got on here, I woke up from a nap. So when you said we started a little bit later, I was like, bet. And I fell asleep again.
Hate it here. I was helping a friend. I literally got off work and a friend's like, hey, can you come to the house real quick and help me move something heavy? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Look at you being a decent friend.
I hate people. Always remember that.
Oh, I believe you. But that's what I'm saying. When you do nice things, it stands out.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Also, again, welcome to the Excuse Me Brother podcast. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening to it, still follow and subscribe. The shit counts.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and if
No
you're
matter where you're
listening on
listening
like on a podcast stuff, give us a rating because I know that helps too.
Yeah, I haven't checked in a while, but I know the last time I checked, we were all 5 stars on Apple.
Nice. Just keep it that way.
I've said it now. You know it's not going to happen now, right?
Nah, I know. Now someone's going to give us a 1 star just because it's probably going to be Jason. Watch.
Most likely. He's like, no, I can't have this.
Not without me. As you can see, Brother Jay is not with us. He's out of town.
He's on vacation, as I like to call it. And he gets mad at me. I wanted to say it on the thing. I was like, he's like, I'm in this place. I was like, and I've recorded when I go out of state all the time. He said, sure.
Yeah, that's true, though. I didn't think about that.
Remember when I was in South Carolina, I recorded. The only time I couldn't record was when I went to Vegas. Because when I landed, I had already recorded.
Right, yeah, it was too late. Before that, you were even contemplating, like, if I make it in time, then I might join in or whatever.
I had packed my computer.
Oh, shit.
I had my whole laptop with me. I was ready to go.
Yeah, that Jay, you're slacking. I know he's listening.
He's going to. He's the only one. You two are the only one that listen to this. I keep this streak going no matter what I'm in, I don't listen. And like when I used to do sports shows,
that's actually
when I was like,
a lot of people do that. Like that's like actors who they don't watch their own movies because they don't want to be hypercritical of themselves.
Tell the truth has nothing to do with me being hypercritical of myself. It's more of like I can't stand my own voice.
Yeah.
Like if I see myself, there was like when I was in high school, there was like a play we had to do where like we had to act like one of the elements, and we submitted this to like the state and everything.
Okay.
And I remember like we had to watch it in class. I literally asked the teacher, "Can I go?" I saw me act for like 2 seconds. I was like, I can't do this. It's like I am fucking ugly. Like I can't.
It's tough. I mean when I used to do like video game YouTube videos like regularly, it took a long time for me to get comfortable with my own, because I would record myself and then I would have to edit myself, and then I would have to listen to myself over and over and over and over again, and it was cringy at first because it's like, that's what I sound like. And eventually you get over it.
Honestly, I can edit. I have no problem editing myself. I just don't like listening to them.
Maybe it's different.
A fun fact, actually, since I do the Twitch show for my other friend, every time he puts like a reel on like a TikTok of me,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's mostly just me being dumb. Like
I think, not for nothing, most of our TikToks are you just saying some crazy shit.
That's also very true. I think we did the newest one that had me dying laughing because we were the Fall of Porcupine.
Oh right, yeah, I remember you told us about that.
Yeah, we were playing that, and then the character is crazy. He's a doctor, but he is wild. And I remember he had said something. He had said something about a statue, and then I watched him. My friend read it. He read the whole thing, And then my response was, "It's crazy that this man was in med school and passed." Just that was. I was like, "This motherfucker really went to med school. That's crazy to me." And they let him pass. I was like, "This is not okay." But this is pretty much just a normal laid back episode to run back, except for one thing that we have to talk about.
Yeah, no, we definitely got to talk about one thing in particular.
Because my favorite response was everyone. I think it was Wednesday, right? It was Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday? It was sometime this week.
It was sometime this week or last week. It was sometime this week where the government came out and literally confirmed that there are aliens. They're just extra intellectual beings outside, and their technology is far beyond ours, and all that other stuff. And everyone was like, "Cool."
No, my favorite thing is the fact that now it's gone backwards, where people were so into conspiracy theories and believing all this stuff and like hidden, like undisclosed footage and all that stuff. Now that the government has confirmed it, they don't believe it anymore. They think that's the lie. It's like, nah, you're hiding it, something else. You just wanted us to believe that it's aliens.
No, they're hiding the fact because they did that. The same day they confirmed that was the same day like the United Nations had a vote about like, is giving people food a human right, like a right that can't be taken away. America was one of 2 countries that voted against.
Of course. Naturally.
It's like literally that same day they voted no. And then it was like, yeah, aliens exist.
to try to distract everybody.
I was like, so
that's the crazy thing. That's like, I obviously I'm interested in that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when they confirmed it, my reaction wasn't like, I don't give a shit. Obviously I do, but it's just like, okay, and that was my reaction. I was like, what else is there? And it's just like, because we know all this stuff. This stuff has been around for so long. We know.
There's Men in Black world. Now I need to know, do you have a Men in Black team? That's all I want to know.
Is Will Smith actually Agent, what's his name? Agent...
I think it was K.
No, K was the other one.
K was his team.
J. He was J. Agent J.
Oh, look. See, there's too many J's. I'm tired of y'all. Brother J, this J Street. There's too many J's in my life. I'm tired.
Too many J's.
Jason, James. There's 2. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I would want to know more about it. It's not like, wow, are you serious? It's like, okay, tell me everything. Like, okay, like what kind of aliens? Like, why? Do you know why they're here? Like, I want to know more.
Are they friendly-ish?
Yeah.
Like, do I have to worry about getting hurt anytime soon, or is it just like, okay, they're here?
And also, my whole thing is like, even if you think about it logically, it shouldn't be surprising that like the infinitely expanding universe has life out there. Like there's no way. I mean, I know I'm sure there's some people out there.
Don't we discover every other day like this planet has water?
Yeah.
So like it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. So it's like there's no way that there's not life out there that is capable of traveling long distances to Earth. Like there's no way Earth is the only planet to inhabit life. There's no way.
It made more sense that it was real than anything because of what you just said, but also just an idea like, well, every time we look at a new planet, they're like, oh, this planet has water. It's like this planet may have trees on it. I was like, so it has oxygen,
right? It can sustain life, so it has or once had life forms on it.
It would make more sense as we think more about it.
Yeah,
but it's still funny. They're like, yeah, it's like there's life forms on other planets, and everyone's like, all right, cool.
That doesn't help me pay rent.
I'm in debt, right?
Yeah.
Are they gonna come down and clear out this debt?
I mean, this is very morbid, but if the aliens ever decide to go to war against us, that could help our economy. It could actually, oh, actually no, never mind. Because I was gonna say it could unite us, but no,
It wouldn't.
it wouldn't. It would divide us even more. Because I was actually, I saw this TikTok of it was basically like a simulation of what would happen if we got invaded,
If we
and
lose.
it was basically like this giant spaceship that came to Earth, and it just stood there, like didn't do anything. It was just hovering over a part of the Earth, and everybody was like talking about it, and politicians were arguing on whether or not we should initiate peace talks or if we should just attack. And it's just like that's exactly what would happen. The right wingers would be like, they're invasion, they're trying to take our people and rule over us. We need to attack. We need to defend Earth.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would be the first person making a joke like, so are these aliens welcome? I want to make sure I know where we stand on this.
That's a good
one. I want to make sure. Do these aliens have to pay rent as well? I want to make sure.
Is there a path to citizenship for these aliens?
Yeah, I was so against the other ones. I'm just asking how do I feel about these? Because technically they're better than you.
Yeah, they got flying spaceships.
I want you to know there was another TikTok. There's a person who was making comedy sketches.
Okay.
He's like, the aliens came down. They're like, it's like, if you don't do what we want, we're gonna poison your water supply. And then other person's like, they already did that, bro.
We do that to ourselves.
It's like it's too late. We've already done that. It's like, well, if you're not, we're gonna pollute the air. It's too late. Like, it's too late. It's like you want to think of something else. Like we already done that as well. You behind on schedule, my brother.
No, someone said it was partly a joke, but it actually kind of makes sense that if the aliens are coming to this planet and it's like we're not really seeing them, it's because they're not talking with us. They're talking with whoever's below the surface or under the sea.
I fucking knew it.
those are the people who are, or those are the creatures that are gonna rule over this planet once we're off, because we're gonna be gone.
I always knew there was something below in that fucking sea. I always knew on land. It's too much pressure and it's too dark. There has to be some shit in there.
No, that's literally, it's a thing that there. What is it? There's like a certain, I don't know the exact percentage, but there's a percentage that's very, very high of uncharted like waters that we have not discovered, but we haven't even like covered yet.
I can fully believe it. I get freaked out whenever time. Have you ever seen? I forgot the name, but on the bottom, it's not really the bottom of the ocean, but near the bottom of the ocean, there's like a giant squid.
Yeah,
and like we only seen the teenager version of it, but it's 20 feet big, and it just scans the floor because it's blind, because it's dark, so it can't really see. Yeah. It just scans the ocean floor for food.
That's it.
So, but it looks like just a giant pale white thing, like those fake aliens that we normally do.
Yeah.
So like
there's new creatures that are being discovered like every year. Where
we said new, they might have been there. We just didn't.
I mean, obviously, yeah, no, they've been there. It's just we haven't gone there yet, and slowly but surely we're starting to see them, and they're pretty alien-like. I'm being honest. There was a fish where it had, well, maybe this is not the most recent one, but it was like one that had like teeth in it. And it's like, teeth? What the fuck? No, like it looked like human teeth.
Oh,
literally, cool. It looked like a human mouth was in a fish. It was so weird.
Cool.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the stuff that we're finding out just now, after all the years that we've been able to explore.
Look, at a certain time, we're gonna take the time. Whenever we get the right technology, we're gonna go explore the bottom of the ocean. We're gonna see the submarine, but we're gonna explore the bottom of the ocean.
And hopefully it's not going to end up like that other submarine.
We can hope, right? Like we can hope. Like we can hope that it doesn't end up bad. But I'd like to I don't keep my hopes up during the day.
What do you think? Well, I mean, it could be anything, but like what would you see like aliens being like?
Depends. Because whenever I think of aliens, I think of Men in Black. And I'm sorry. They're like, it's literally my go-to. Like, oh shit, aliens. And I swear to God, if it's cockroaches, I'm fighting.
Cockroaches? You're like,
That's
no,
why-
I don't like you guys here. You can get the fuck out.
Take if you're the alien race is just bigger cockroaches, stay. Don't come. In fact,
Don't-
take your cousins, take all those fuckers and take them back with you. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Oh man, I agree with you though.
I hate it here. I hate it for them. I don't want them here. They keep fucking up my stuff. Like, just get it away. But if part of me hopes is that it's like Futurama.
Futurama.
Like
I would be curious on just how they would communicate. Like, obviously, it's gonna be different because even animals communicate differently. So it's like it won't necessarily be, or it wouldn't necessarily be like a verbal thing. It could be
Probably
like
not.
telepathic, and they would be communicating without even saying anything.
I always forget, like, depending on the show we watch, like, they always do some weird shit when it comes to alien talking. Like, Futurama was like, oh, they learned, like, they've been here for a while, so they learned the language.
Yeah,
And then, like, but if you remember Teen Titans, when Starfire first came to the planet, she made out with Robin to learn his language. So there's also that possibility as well.
I don't remember that.
There was I was a young boy. It's a cartoon. I remember that.
No, I know Teen Titans. I've seen that show. I don't remember that particular.
Like, there was like the episode. It wasn't like their first episode. It was like they did an episode after all their seasons. It was like when they first met, and like Starfire like was like escaping her home planet or some shit like that. And so she landed here. Robin was away from Batman. Beast Boy was just losing his family.
Damn.
Cyborg just got his robot body, and Raven was Raven.
Raven was Raven.
Literally, but like Starfire landed, and like Robin like went after to like chase her because Batman nonsense.
Yeah,
That's how it is. And then like to talk to him, he literally just like grabbed his face and like made out with him. And then she did it in the movie when they went to Japan.
Oh shit.
If you watch it, she literally grabs a dude and like kisses him. And then like she's able to speak Japanese.
That's funny.
And Robin's like, so you're just making out with people? That's what we do? I was like, oh, someone's jealous.
Apparently.
And I understand why.
My whole idea of aliens has been kind of skewed because I mentioned it before on the loading up that like Mass Effect is my favorite franchise. So like I want it to be like Mass Effect.
I am done. If it's like Mass Effect, I'm probably done. I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm also going to laugh.
Those aliens are so cool though. Like
I'm not saying they're not cool. I'm just going to laugh. I'm still going to laugh, regardless of what happens. I hope I hope it's like Mass Effect for you.
Yes, at least I would know how, well, not to say communicate, but how they interact and stuff. How it somewhat of a general knowledge about them.
You talk to them, a dialogue bar just pulls up.
Yeah, I get to choose.
It's like, dude, nothing. No, that always gets me in trouble.
Renegade or Paragon?
Oh,
Do I want to be an asshole? No,
it could be crazy if it's like Destiny. Then it's awful. You start sending giant robots to kill. I'm like, well, it was nice living.
Yeah, I hope they're not like humanoid because that'll be boring. Like if they're just humans, but just slightly different.
I mean, if they are, they are. If anything, I feel like that wouldn't be the worst. It would just be very shocking.
It would be easier to adapt to, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't know.
But then, I kind of hope they're not humanoid because then that's going to be a whole nother thing to deal with.
True.
It'll be a whole nother issue. Like,
and
how can you tell the difference and all this other stuff? I'm like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the racist.
More issues to fight with them.
What would you call someone who's racist against alien? Is it still racist? Because alien race is a different race, right?
You're asking me a lot of questions I can't answer.
I guess
I'm
it's
still,
still racist. Yeah.
I was like, we're still not. I'm still in the idea like if we had full working like androids and robots, he would still be racist like fucking Detroit.
Well, that's true.
They're like,
Peop-
you can't love that thing. It's a robot. It doesn't have emotion. It's stupid. And I'm like,
that
how
I
are
feel
they
like we're closer to that becoming a reality though.
fucking
That robots becoming sentient enough where we have to start considering their feelings.
I'm fine with that.
That's gonna be interesting. Cause like not to be like, I mean I
What are
don't.
you about to say?
It's a
How
hard
racist?
thing.
How racist?
No, it's a hard thing to
Like,
talk
how
about
racist?
because this could be a real thing where like if you discriminate upon a robot, it's basically like discriminating upon someone else, like a human.
I believe
could
it.
be a thing later on, like within our lifetimes.
I fully believe it.
So it's like hard for me to say because like if I say it now, then like 20 years from now, the robots are gonna be like, look at that. You see this bullshit?
They knew what they were doing. They had planned it. That's a thing. That I forgot. I don't know the name of it, but it's like you're supporting the AI is going to become so sentient that it's already going to know your thoughts, and then it's going to know that we're obsolete. And it's going to try to kill us, unless you supported it when it first came out.
Right.
And it's already going to know because it already can read your mind.
I feel like as the technology becomes more advanced, I probably will adapt to it and be more accepting and mindful, like you said.
I did say mindful.
Yeah. So maybe it just it has to happen first. I can't say right now how I'm gonna react.
Right now?
Yeah, I can't picture it right now. I mean I could, but I can't say be like, oh, you gotta watch out for the robots, you gotta be nice to the robots. I can't say that right now because it hasn't happened yet. I don't know because robots could be assholes for all we know.
Depending on man, absolutely.
Hey, it could be like Terminator.
There was a show about that. What was it? Death, Love, and Robots? Is that what it was on Netflix?
Is that what it is? I meant to watch that. I have it on my list.
A friend of mine. Oh, it was Alexis. I think it was Alexis. Okay, I'm gonna put it on blast. I think it was Alexis and Nadia. They told me about it, and I think I watched like 2 episodes. And it's very random. There's no storyline.
It's like episode to episode.
Yeah, every episode is different. And I remember there was an artist, and he told this story. He's like, I think his name was Blue, and he just had blue skin. And then it turns out that he was an AI the whole time. And he was an AI that was built to be a toaster, and then his master died, so he just had to keep learning new skills.
Damn.
That was the whole premise. And then at the end, he does a whole thing. Oh no, he was a pool cleaner. He was a pool cleaner, and like he just developed into a robot because his master died, but he kept the pool going. And then he started getting bacteria, and then as the bacteria grew, it grew sentient. So then he started to get arms and just developed limbs. It was a whole lot. It was a lot. And then the kid you're not, the ending was him like showing the world. He's like, he was an artist. So he had all sort of paintings, but all his paintings had like one blue square because it was a pool tile. Because I always stayed in his mind because he was a pool cleaner. So at the end, he literally shows the pool. He jumps into the water and disintegrates all his advanced being, and just goes back to being a pool cleaner.
Damn, that's fucked up.
And everyone, I thought it was lovely, and everyone was angry though. That shit was hilarious. Watching everyone get angry though. Like,
I'm gonna have to watch that show. I saw it like every time I open Netflix, it shows up, and I'm just like, it looks pretty interesting. I didn't know it was like each episode was different, so that might make it easier to watch. So,
I just looking at it now. Whenever I think back about it, I'm like, yo, this shit's really crazy. There's no reason for this to be like this.
No, but you know what also gets me kind of worried too is you've seen Black Mirror, right?
Yes.
That show, like, that has kind of painted a negative light on technology for me and how scary it can be
I can see that
if used improperly. which it has. Like some of the stuff that's in there has already come to fruition, and it's not. Yeah,
I ain't
it's
gonna lie to you.
just-
I don't remember nothing about it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
honestly no, because it's weird for whatever reason. I remember if I see the thumbnail for every episode, I could tell you what it was because I've seen all of them except the most recent like 3,
Mhm.
and I can tell you what episode is which.
Look at
And
you,
don't know,
knowing
it's-
shit.
It's very weird. I don't know why I can do that because they all stand out. They're all pretty much like mini movies, so it's like because they're
It's-
long enough for that.
I always think of Black Mirror as just upgraded Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. No, yeah, it's basically Twilight Zone about technology, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's what I
That's-
always describe it as. And
that's why I see it as all the time. I'm like, yeah, it's
and
just that.
there's different types of episodes too, and that's why, like I've watched a few episodes with Natalie, and every time we watch a new one, I'll say, okay, do you want a sad ending or do you want a happy ending, or do you want a regular ending? Because like they're all different.
That's right. You make your own choices. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
What?
think I would fuck myself up. Just outright just being stupid. Because I know I'll probably stop paying attention for a minute, and then my brain will be like, "What the fuck just happened?" It's like, what happened?
Yeah,
to
you
my
really got to pay attention to it though.
Yeah, you really. I know you do.
Yeah.
I think I finished one ending, and they got something about a pig fucker. I don't know. Some shit was happening.
That was the first episode, I think.
Yeah, it was the first one. Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's that. I don't think you want to start with that one. That will fuck you up.
that was too late. That was too late for that.
That was the first episode. I mean, usually when people watch shows, they start from the first episode. But I feel like with Black Mirror,
You can't.
probably don't want to start with that one.
If you are not paying attention, don't start with that because you will make the wrong choices. End up in pig fucking, and you'll be lost. Because I was lost for a minute. I'm like,
Yeah,
why
you really gotta pay attention to that one because
my brain was like, why are we fucking pigs? What did I do? What did I miss? I
that one was bad.
was like, I don't want to start. I was like, I don't want to start over. Like, I don't want to know what my choices were anymore. I'm just gonna let this rock.
That's the
just-
one I didn't do. The one where you gotta make it's like a choose your own adventure or whatever.
You should always do it.
I know.
I always will choose your own adventure because somehow I always if it's nothing that's non-killer, I always get the bad ending somehow. But if it's something you can die in, I always somehow survive.
It was like
I
Until
survive with
Dawn.
yeah, I always survive either perfectly normal or I have a broken bone or something, but I survive. And I'm talking shit. I'm talking my
I'm
shit.
always the one. I'm always the one where like if I clearly made a mistake, I close out and I restart before it saves.
No,
No, I messed up. I'm sorry.
I don't want this. I don't want this. Just forgive me. You can't cheat the game. They're not
And then
supposed to, at least.
It's too late, and then I have to live with my decision,
It's too late.
like real life.
This game is supposed to take me away from this. So
Right?
here
I was
I
supposed
am.
to escape, and I can't.
Here I am, stressed again, upset at the
Unfortunately.
world. Fortunately.
Yeah, well,
Oh, that's fucking great.
you know what else is bothering me?
Anything.
The
other than
whole
being-
the whole Twitter X thing.
I remember
so
how angry you were when
fucking-
we recorded this.
So
Recorded.
fucking
loading
stupid,
up.
man. So stupid. And
I know
literally,
that-
like, they just changed it today for Android because they changed it to on iPhone, but they apparently
Did
they
they?
can't change the name because
Pro-
they changed the logo. It's now an
Oh.
X.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I have Twitter on my or X on my phone, but since I don't really use it,
You haven't
enough?
seen it, yeah,
Either I haven't seen it or I haven't paid it any attention.
yeah. No, it's best to not pay attention. I wish I couldn't. But yeah, so they changed it on iPhone, but they can only change the logo. They can't change the name because apparently on the iOS store, you have to have at least 3 letters the name to change it. And they can't change it because they changed it to X, just one letter. So now it's stuck at Twitter, unless they named it to like X app or something like that.
Oh, they could do X app. That would work.
But it's so stupid because it's like, if you look at it, it literally looks like a porn app. That's what it looks like. And they changed it for Android. And on my home screen, it was just X. And I was just like, yo, if somebody took my phone and looked at it, be like, yo, why you got porn on your home screen? Like,
what's
come on, bro.
Brother, what's going on here? What is it? You're engaged. Is it this lonely for you?
Is it that bad? Like,
is she not love? Like, do you want to talk about it?
That you need right on the home screen, like not even hidden away or
it's
nothing.
Not hidden at all.
It's just right there, front and center.
My brother, what is going on? Speak to me.
But thankfully on Android, they allow you to change like the name and icon for it. So I just changed it back to Twitter.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Even though the app itself is still X. But it's just so stupid. Like I try to like wrap my head around it. I can't.
I just don't try it. Don't put your don't work the brain like that. You're only gonna get annoyed. I can promise you that.
I am. And that's why like I'm trying. I don't know. It's just I'll just say it. I'm addicted to like social media. I'll just be honest.
I'm addicted.
I just like being informed. That's the thing, because like back in the day, it used to be like newspapers. People like to read newspapers like crazy because they like to be informed. They like to know what's going on around the world and stuff like that.
Trust me, I understand. Literally, my notifications are just if someone's not messaging me, my notifications are going crazy about like, oh, this happened today in like sports, or this happened. There was an incident in the world. There's a shooting or something like that.
Right.
I kind of toned down the shooting one. It was a lot.
Yeah, no, there's because I don't know, for whatever reason, when I go on my computer and I use the Edge browser or whatever.
Yeah.
I had to change the home screen because the home screen was the Bing homepage or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know it sucks, but for whatever reason, literally the only news that would show for me was just like shootings, people dying, hospital, like the worst shit, natural disasters, like the worst negative news. And I'm just like, I don't even use you that much for you to curate that for me. Why would you show me that? Why are you making me depressed? I'm just trying to look up something.
You're looking up nothing.
I'm just looking up pictures for the thumbnail for the podcast. I don't need this negativity.
Come learn about this child that got murdered, unfortunately.
I'm telling you, it's so bad. So I had to change it back to just regular Google.
My YouTube is like comedians that talk about news, and like I'll get the thumbnails. I forgot. I think yesterday there was like this girl I felt so bad. Like this girl, like she just graduated, like some university or with her bachelor's and master's. And, like she was going to go get a doctorate with a friend, and like they decided to go overseas. And I think they went to Germany. While they're in Germany, this one dude, another guy from America that went overseas, tried to sexually assault her and then pushed her over a bridge that was 150 feet in the air.
Oh, shit.
Her and the friend. The girl,
both of them.
Both of them. The girl died, and one of the other friends survived the fall.
Wow.
But he's gone to jail. He got arrested. They're sending him to America. He's going to get charged, like, I think.
See, that shit, like...
But you understand, like, this is not what I can't... It's so sad. And again, this is why I hate humans.
Yeah.
That's why I want aliens to take it.
Yeah, aliens, you know what? You can have Earth.
Oh, you can
we deserve it.
Let's get something that helps your reach. Because like we can take out everyone that believes in autism. Like not all people are bad, but like if you're gonna do that and overseas and like I don't know what the fuck to do with you, go.
But that's just like it's one of those things where my need to be informed backfires on me in that point because it's like
it gives you anxiety.
It gives me anxiety because I find out about these horrible things that happen because I want to be informed about it, and it makes me depressed. And that's why, like, when people like my fiance Natalie, she's like, she's on social media, but she's a scroller. She'll just go on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe TikTok every now and again. but that's it. Like, she won't go on like Reddit or Twitter or anything that's like more news focused.
Yeah.
And she has a better experience because of it, and I'm so jealous because
I had to start being Natalie because I kid you not, I think 2021 I had like the meanest survivor guilt along with depression. Because I knew about all this other stuff. I knew this shooting, and then as I was reading into this stuff, I was like, they're dumb because like if you do this is gonna happen, and then they would do it, and then it happened. I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah.
And then my brain's like, I can't. And
Yeah,
I
no,
was
the
like,
whole COVID stuff like really fucked with me too. Cause like I'm gonna be completely honest, and maybe you weren't in the group chat at that point.
Probably no.
I was very like not against it, but like I was like I guess I wasn't denying COVID, but I was like I was saying it wasn't that big of a deal in the beginning.
I didn't look too much into COVID until like late December when I learned what it really was, and I was like, oh, so it's like the flu that kills.
Yeah, because like when it first started, because in 2019, that's when like late 2019, that's when it started to like ramp up.
Yeah.
And I really didn't take it seriously. I thought everybody that was talking, because I was listening to podcasts that were talking about it, and they were saying like, better watch out, like it's serious, like don't play around with this.
I kind of wish I learned more about it before we got into this, but like in my brain, I was like, okay, it's a really contagious flu. It's a flu and a cold combined that's airborne.
Yeah.
And it really kills the elderly people.
Yeah.
Like, so like I remember when I heard about that, I was like, I'm going to not like, if I'm going to be out there, I'm like, I'm going to try my best not to like give it to my grandma and my grandfather.
I didn't understand the severity at that point, just because it was still new.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me wanted to be uncharacteristically, because I'm always negative, but part of me wanted to be positive about it because
me too.
Because everybody was being negative, and I was just like, I need to have something to like have a silver lining.
Me too. I wanted to be so positive. Like when the pandemic first happened, I was like, we're gonna be.
It's just 2 weeks, guys. It's just 2 weeks.
I was like, we're gonna be done. I was like, we're gonna be done in August. Like we're gonna be back out there in August. And I was like, I was planning.
Right.
I was like, I'm gonna watch the Olympics and all this other stuff. And like it
just kept getting worse. And
go
ahead.
That whole year was the worst start, because remember the Kobe died that January. I was like,
yes, that's awful. When it started. We should have taken the bad omen. And
Kobe's death was the first start, and I think something else happened in February. Something else bad happened in February. I was like, yo, this fucking year is awful right now.
Right, it's not going off to a good start. And it was funny because I got my new job in 2020, so I was like, this is a good thing. Maybe that's why, because I didn't want the good news, the good thing of me getting a new job to get downplayed by the pandemic, and I was trying to be positive about things.
I understand. So, a lot of people quit their job during that pandemic, and I respect it.
No, to be fair,
I also wanted to quit my job during the pandemic, but did not.
To be fair, my job, because I had just left Target, and during the pandemic, so the hospital I work for is an orthopedic hospital, so it's like it's surgeries. It's just surgeries. That's it, and but it's elective, so it's mostly for like athletes or just like people who want to get things fixed.
You were working during the pandemic then, right?
Yeah, I was working.
Okay.
But because it was like an elective surgery, it was technically not necessary. So they shut down a lot of the surgeries. It was only as needed.
Yeah.
And not to like toot my own horn, but it was it was a breeze the first few months, because nobody was getting surgery. So it was like maybe like 2 or 3 surgeries a day, when normally we get like 20. So there was no patients because they couldn't keep people. It wasn't until later on in the year where we kind of
started getting a little better.
Well, not even that. They so right next to us is a regular hospital. Really? So we took the overflow of those patients. Yeah. So we opened up. Yeah, I mean, it was very decent of my hospital to do because they
I
didn't
mean,
have to.
they really didn't, but they're like, yo, we got your back. You can take our rooms. We'll
Yeah,
help you out. Did you also help out the staff? I'm not gonna lie to you. If I was the owner of that hospital that only did surgeries, I'd be like, yo, take the rooms if you want. Teach my staff how to help out. Like,
I'm
get all
pretty
the
sure
help
they
you
did
can.
that. It was basically like a symbiotic type thing where
Yeah, I was like, yo,
for
teach my staff
workers
as
over
much as they
there.
can.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
So so yeah, the first few months was like I literally came into work and I did nothing
I'm not gonna lie
because
to
there
you.
was nothing to do.
That was what I was doing my job during that time too.
Yeah, that's why
Because
like
I
it,
was
everybody was talking about like being like stressed out and stuff like that, and I was like, the only thing I didn't like was that I still had to go to work. Everybody was at home, quarantine, whatever, but I still had to go to work. But
I was trying to go to work during that time.
the streets were like empty.
Empty.
It looked like
Oh my
freaking
God.
Fallout. Like just zero people.
It used to terrify me.
Yeah, no, it was very
It took a minute to get adjusted, but it terrified me for a while.
it was
Because when during the pandemic, I still was working as a social worker for people that were going to get evicted.
yeah.
So I was still doing applications trying to solve people's back rent. Even though like housing court had frozen, like these people were
Yeah.
still going up.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I told you when that housing court opened, my God, you don't know how happy I was to get out that job.
I can
But, like,
imagine.
Oh yeah, but they were like, oh yeah, when we started to have to go back to the office, or they gave us the option to go back to the office, but couldn't do shit home.
No.
Tried our best, but like, I think only it was me and my roommate Amelia who were like really had things set up for working from home, and we still wasn't really able to do shit because we didn't have scanners then.
Yeah.
So when we started going back to the office, I remember leaving my house just like at like just straight emptiness, and I had to walk through a park. It was just nothing but grass and stuff and just birds, and I'm like, I'm gonna get jumped.
I know it's very like uneasy, like
I was
seeing
the whole
zero
time.
people.
The whole
It's
time I
like-
was like, I'm gonna get mugged. I'm gonna get mugged.
Yeah, no, it
That's
was
my
like a
only
ghost
thought
town, and I took it for granted because I didn't realize because this is the first like city job I had, so
Alright.
I was just getting used to the commute, but because of the pandemic, it was a skewed experience because that's not how it normally is. It's never that easy. So at the first, I want to say like maybe 2 months, I was driving into work and I was just like, yo, this man parking. I don't got to worry about the alternate sides. Like, is easy. I could get used to this. And then slowly but surely, people started coming back to work. And I was just like, damn, I got to take the train now.
You have no idea how happy. I kid you not. That was the only happy thing about that. Was about when I got on the train to go to work and it was just empty, no matter what the day was.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was so happy. I was so excited. Every day. Just like
Yeah.
I didn't have to like I didn't have to leave my house early, try to get an early train to meet people. I was like, yes. So
Yeah,
as
no,
I
it
got
was-
on, like, look at all these seats. Oh, let me see.
I know, right? Got a whole car to yourself.
Absolutely. I was singing.
Just going down like, empty.
Literally,
Putting
I would
on
take
your
one
own show.
I would take one headphone out and just start singing singing
Just
the
start
lyrics.
singing
That was coming through my
yourself.
head. Well, you singing it like you really singing out loud. I'm like, yeah, don't sing her. You don't want to be sick. Probably wasn't the best lyrics to sing on the train, but it's just
Hey, nobody's there. Who cares?
yeah. I was very excited. The train, if you ever asked me, the only good thing about the pandemic was that was it.
Yeah, the commute. Yeah,
It's
it was
just-
easily the best thing.
Easy
That
commute.
I miss those days. That's the only thing I miss about the pandemic. I mean, we're technically still in it. If you wanna.
No, it's ended.
I know. I remember you said that it technically ended, but it's
It was declared it ended.
yeah, but that
We
was
got-
one of the things I miss about it. Like just not
We-
having to deal with other people.
Look, we were never gonna. A lot of people were like, we need a cure for COVID. I was like, based on what I know, based on like since it's like the flu, the
Yeah,
cold,
no, COVID's here.
it's gonna keep mutating.
I
There's nothing we
would
can do.
assume that next year if not already, that whatever the flu vaccine,
Yeah, we're
it's just
gonna.
gonna it's just gonna
Yeah.
incorporate COVID into it, and then we're
I
just gonna have to get it every year.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. And we're just gonna, as soon as you get it, you're just gonna have to wait, because I kind of think it's not gonna be like the other one when you have to do 2 shots again. This is gonna be
Right.
one,
It'll probably be
and
one, yeah.
and you're gonna have to wait for those side effects to hurt. Just take your 2 days off, get ready.
Yo, that's one thing. I freaking my mom, because every time I get a flu shot or even like a COVID shot, I go through it. Like, and I know that's the thing. Like, that's what they tell you. But my mom, she got both shots and was just like, I didn't feel nothing. I was like, how? How, Sway?
I think both shots were just both COVID shots put me out.
Yeah, no, I was out.
And I remember, and I always knew the side effect was coming. I didn't get like the cold or like the chills and anything. I just couldn't lift my arm.
Yeah,
I
just
hated
fatigue.
that. I hated that the most. It was so painful. It wasn't. It was just pain. I would like wake up and like this would just not want to move anymore. It was just. It was like I literally got stabbed and I lost an nerve.
Now, for me, it was just like I felt incredibly like lethargic, and on top of me not being
That
able to
too.
move my arm, I was just like, I want to move. I would just want to lay down,
That's
and I was pissed because when it became more available, they started giving out not giving out, but they gave hours, like 4 hours of comp time.
Yeah.
So like if you got the shot, if you were a city worker, but that didn't apply to me. So I was like, I still got to go to work the next day. So fuck you guys.
I think my job was very nice. They actually, when it went out, my job was like, hey, we got the vaccine. Like, if you want to take it, let us know. Send us an email. We'll set you an appointment up in our site, one of our site store. I don't know why I couldn't think of the right properly.
Yeah.
Some reason site SITE.
It's like, you're right.
I keep thinking of site like C. It's fucking.
You good?
No. Well, I'm very hungry.
No, but no, I had to. The first shot I didn't really plan because usually when I get the flu shot, it's fine. Like, yeah, I go through like the symptoms and stuff like that. But the COVID shot took me out. So the second time, the booster,
I'm ready.
I had to plan it out. So I took it in the beginning of my shift. So that way, by the time I was out, that's when I started dealing with it. And yeah, I was already home, so I could just chill. And then I would have to do it on the day before my day off. So that way I had the next day to recover as well.
I signed up my booster for Friday.
Yeah.
I think I got the first shot and I realized how much pain I was in. And I was like, they were like, you gotta do a part 2. Like, what day you want to do it? Make it a Friday. I'm not doing this.
Yes, scheduling the shot,
which was a mistake because it took my body 3 days to feel the full pain. So Saturday I was good. Sunday
3 days.
So Saturday, when I first got it on Friday, I was okay. Saturday I got a little pain, but I was still able to move. Sunday I had more pain, but I was like, I can still do some stuff. Like I can still, but I can't. I can only like lift my arm up to like here. So like I'm just like I'm trying to cook and like just doing like little things.
Damn.
Monday, it was it. There was like nothing but pain.
It's just take those ibuprofen or whatever.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time I think about that pain, I think about Target when I dislocated my shoulder.
Oh yeah. I remember that. I'm still shocked that you even came to work still. Like what are you doing?
I came to work in a sling because I had to give them the note that I couldn't work.
No, but didn't you come in like before you took the time off while your shoulder was still hurting?
Yeah, I did one day, and then when I woke up the next morning, I couldn't lift my shoulder again, and I was like, I should go to the doctor.
Probably, yeah.
And then they're like, oh yeah. Then they told me what was wrong, so like you gotta be in a sling for 3 days. Like you can't work for 3 days. So I got driven to Target. And this is a 4 a.m. shift, so I was already done. So I already called out, I already texted, and was like, I can't make it. I'm going to the hospital. And I will always get upset because I came in a sling with a note saying I can't work for 2 to 3 days because I had to lift everything. I can't lift everything. I'm right-handed. I can't do anything with my left hand. It's not how this works. I came in, I gave the note. Fucking Andrelis came in. She's like, Sean, you here? You ready to work? And I looked at her and I was like,
see the whole sling?
yes.
Do you not see this?
I had a whole sling on. I couldn't open the door. She's like, you ready to do some work? It's like, we can put you in the dairy. I was like, bitch.
No, that's the worst thing because you got to freaking unload pallets.
There was nothing I could have done. They're like, you can do like, I remember she's like, yeah, you can put stuff on the shelf. I'm like, what way?
No, the most you could do is freaking backstock, but then you would have to do it slow.
Especially get up, because remember, someone that's the time
on the ladders. Yeah,
someone was fucking up the backstock at that time.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. That's actually when it really got fucked up on those 3 days.
On those days you were gone.
Yeah, that was a whole chain reaction.
You see, that's the problem. Like, and I've noticed it too. Like when, even in my job now, like if I'm not there to do certain things, it just doesn't get done.
Yeah. So
then, like when I come back, I gotta do double.
It's a
backload. So it's like, yo, and that pisses me off so much.
I used to. That was one of the things I hated about the job I had before this one. This one now, if I call out, nothing, whatever I had to do then, it's either done by my supervisor or it wasn't important enough to do anything. It's like you can wait. I can wait another 3 days to do it. But good. Like at the other job in Target, if I missed 1 day, everything had backed up.
Yep.
Now if it took 1 hour to do it, now I gotta give it at least 3 hours to clear everything.
To fix the mistakes of the other person and then do your yeah, that shit pisses me off. And I try to tell them, and like my supervisors, like, so one of them is like more receptive to like my, I don't want to say complaints, but like suggestions. Yes.
It's like, hey,
but the other one is just like, he's whatever. He does his own thing. But it's gotten to the point where I have to find out who is gonna cover me regularly when I'm out, so that way I can tell them, hey, this is what I do.
I need you to do this.
Yeah, try and do as much of this as you can, so that way when I come back, I'm not overflowed with a bunch of other shit.
I'm not expecting you to do this perfectly.
Yeah,
I just want you to do this right.
Just do it. Just do it decently. Help me out.
Do it the right way. I don't care if you only get 4 of it done. Just do it the right way. Because if you do it the wrong way, we're fucked.
Yes. Then we're going to have to fix whatever that is. And then it's just...
Oh my God.
And that's the thing, because that's what my job... Like, I have a flow. Like, literally, I have like I call it a circuit because of how, like, by the book it is. I do this, I do this, I do this. Take my break, do this, do this. Like, it's literally clockwork. I know when to do my stuff. That's why, like, they never get complaints about me.
Not
to toot my own horn.
Not toot it, it's fine. Let them know.
But it's just like,
let them listen to them. So be like, this is why I'm good at my job. I'm not.
But my coworker, he's been there a little bit longer than I have, and he still struggles with that. And he's like constantly falling behind and constantly like getting like overwhelmed with work. I'm just like, how have you not figured out a system where this doesn't happen? It's just like it's just common sense to me. Like if you see a problem, it's a recurring problem.
There's a reason.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah,
you got to figure out what that reason is. And I know the reason. And that's the thing. I'm stuck in this position because like there's certain times where I want to like call him out, or even just I'm not the one to like tattle. I hate tattling.
Never.
I do not like it. I
that's how we were in Target. That's how we were in Target. That's how I was in Target. That's how I was every job I've been. I'm like, yo, something happened. I don't know who did it. Even though I know who did it.
when it affects me, that's when I'm just like, oh, I need to say something because
I just defend myself.
They will literally pull me out of what I'm doing to help this other guy. And it's like, it pisses me off.
Fucker.
Yeah, it's just like, yo, you're messing with my system at that point.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something about my previous job. I'm not going to name it. But there was a time where I had gotten so good at this. I was doing other people's cases, but the upper management hated me so much.
Why?
That I don't know why. I can't tell you. I think honestly, it was something. It felt like something I did, but also I was like one of only 2 guys.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it could have been anything.
I remember you mentioned that in, I think it was an earlier episode,
Probably
like
But
discrimination because of your guy or whatever.
could have been anything. But I remember at a certain point, no matter what I did, they got to the point where I was doing other people's work. If I did, I would sign their names on it, and it would go through. And if I put the same thing and signed my name on it, it got sent back for errors.
What?
It was bad.
That's
wasn't-
no, that would piss
since
me
it
off.
was and since it was typing stuff, it was like grammar errors. That wasn't really a problem. They're like, you need a period here for this, and I'm like, why?
You know, it's because they hold you they hold you to a higher standard. So it's like, on the
And
one
then-
hand, it's a compliment, but on the other hand, it's just like, yo, come on.
No, it was an anger thing because they're like, oh, you didn't do this and this, and I need you to do this. But if I did the same work for my friend and just put her name on it, that shit went straight through with flying colors.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
I'm
Yeah,
like, yo.
that's the shit that. So like, and that's why like if somebody else did my job and they didn't do everything, it's fine because it's not them or it's not me. But if I did a poor job, like let's say for whatever reason I was just not 100% that day, going through stuff, maybe I was sick, I don't know, I was just not feeling it, and I slow down a slightly, they are on my ass and be like, hey, you gotta do this, I'm getting calls about this. I'm just like, relax, I know. I know this.
Don't be
I-
talking to
I-
me like that, son.
I will get it done. Calm down. But it's just like, it's just the fact, but that's what I'm saying. They hold you to a higher standard because they know what you're capable of. And if you slack off in the slightest, or if they see mistakes or whatever, they come on you harder because they know you're better. But at the same
You're
time,
not-
that's not a good thing.
Like, you're not my parent. You're
Exactly.
You're not my coach. I don't need this.
Right.
If I wanted that shit, I go back to school.
Yeah, I'll go freaking sign up for a football team or something.
I
I
will
want to get
try
ridiculed
again.
about my performance.
Exactly. I'll try out. Like, there are other football leagues. I can try this shit again. I can always go back to track and field. I got strength. I can still do throws. I don't gotta be old. Like, I don't gotta do running.
No, but that's just the shit that pissed me off. Like, and that's
It was
why I
ju-
try not to. I've become more like of the mindset that says do your job adequately. Don't overexert yourself, because that's another one of my coworkers does that. He does the second shift, and he goes hard, and he will complain to me. That's like, yo, I'm working my ass off, and it's hard, and I don't get sent help, and I'm just like, it's because they know you'll do it anyway. Like you'll complain
Yeah.
and you'll whine about it, but you'll still do it, and they take advantage of that. So you just
That's
gotta
what-
just
That was me in Target.
yeah. It's like just go at your own pace. If shit piles up, and they say something, explain. Be like, I can't do it by myself. That's it.
That's Target.
But
That was me in
some
Target.
some people don't have that mindset. They just like, I gotta get it done.
I thought that Target me. Younger me in Target.
you
Younger me in Target. When I transitioned from the back room to the market back room. That shit was rough.
It was
Also-
rough.
Jason was the worst anyway.
It's crazy how many backroom guys got transferred to market. Like literally almost all.
it had to because they were doing that whole thing.
I remember that. Like, yeah,
Which kind of sucked because our whole back room,
that
before you got
backroom
there,
team got gutted. I remember.
our whole back room, we did our job so well that like everything we used to just take breaks because we finished everything. So I'm like, and then they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a whole new formula and this and this. We're like, whatever. I remember because I tried my best not to go. When they told me, because like I got approached, I was the first person when they did that. They're like, hey, we're gonna do this, like, and we asked the old backroom leader, who you think's good for it, and he suggested you. And I was like, that's crazy. So I don't even like, because I don't even like him.
Yeah,
We
that's
hated-
probably why.
We hated each other. I still hate you, James.
I was
still
just
hate
gonna
him.
say, was it James?
I was a fucking loony, it's James.
I didn't think he was a bad. Maybe he wasn't my supervisor. That's why.
Here's
So
the
maybe
problem.
that's why.
Here's the thing. He wasn't bad. He knew what he was doing. So it wasn't like I hate him because he's dumb. I hated him because of his attitude.
Uh,
He had
Yeah,
that
I-
attitude like I'm better than you at everything.
yeah, I kind of got that
And
vibe
I was like,
too.
my brother, like, you can catch these hands right now if you talk to me like this.
It's like after work hours, don't test me.
I will fuck you up. Like, you know what you're doing, so I'm not gonna, like, we don't gotta argue about this because we both see it the right way. But like, yo, don't talk to me like that. Like, I'm not 10.
Yeah, no, I hate when people try and like act like you said, like they try to treat you like a parent or like they're your parent. It's
That was
like,
my whole, tell you the truth, that was my issue with Andrelis. I knew she knew what she do. She knew what to do. I just hated her attitude.
yeah, no,
Don't talk to me like this.
yeah,
It was
It was
such
rough.
a condescending attitude. It was so bad.
yeah. I remember she
And-
came to me one day and she asked me, he's like, "You think I'm too hard on you guys?" And I was just like, I didn't really give like a straight answer. I was just like, well, some
Yeah.
people might think that way.
I'm not gonna lie to you. She asked me too, and I was honest with her.
I know. I believe you. I believe you're honest, man. Me,
looked
I
at
was
me-
just like,
She kissed me not. She was like, "Am I too hard on you guys?" I'm like, "You're not hard. You just have a terrible way you talk. You have a terrible way of talking to people. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like me and you have this, like me and you have this thing. Like we can talk to each other and make jokes, but like the way you talk to somebody else, you make them sound like a 5-year-old, and it's crazy
yeah,
to
no,
me.
I noticed that too. Yeah,
Like that's why you had issues. I was like, that's why you and Lillian always fight with each other because you talk to her like
Yeah.
you talk like she's not a
and
mother
Lillian
of
was
kids.
old. Yeah, Lillian was older than her, so
Yeah, like you talk to her like she's not older than you and has kids that are like around like close to my
Yeah.
age. Like
it can be demeaning.
I was like, that was it. Like I'm like, you knew what you were doing and you knew what to do. It's like just fix the tone.
Yeah. So anyhow,
Because anyway, it doesn't matter. I think that's still everything.
yeah,
Just turned to grind my gears up.
right. Yeah, literally, we were just complaining about shit.
Oh, I love this. I love this episode. Look, it's a rant.
Just doing a
haven't-
whole nother hour. And now I gotta eat. I'm hungry.
I haven't eaten since like 12 o'clock, and I had a terrible Dunkin' Donuts sandwich.
Oh boy. All right, then let's wrap this up so we could get some food in our stomachs.
Thank you for listening to the Excuse Me Brother podcast. I've been the host of Grind Your Gears,
Grinding gears.
Brother Tay, with my brother, with my future, with my co-host, and one of the best producers I know, Producer
Oh.
Jay. I gotta keep, look, he's not here. I could talk shit. We'll see you. Brother Jay will probably be back next week. We'll see. But if you want to keep listening to us, again, please like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, Excuse Me Brother Podcast. Leave comments. We do read them, or at least Jason reads them.
Okay.
Follow us on Instagram at excuse_me_brother with an A, not an ER, because it's not racist. You can write us in DMs. I actually look at those and respond to people. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok and Facebook at Excuse Me Brother with the ER.
We've been posting more on the TikTok, so
We
check
have.
those out and
I've been-
follow us on there.
I've been killing myself lately. I tag Rhea. I do it
Yeah,
again.
I saw that. I saw that. I was like, yo, this guy,
I do it again.
he's trying to get me in trouble.
Absolutely.
No, you were the one who said it. You're trying to get yourself in trouble.
I'd fight her. She's fine. I don't give a fuck. That's a battle I'm willing to take.
I feel it.
I know she's stronger than me. I seen her workout. I seen her workout with Sheamus. I know she got it, but I do want to work out with Rhea. I'm not gonna lie with you.
That would be nice.
Before we go, there's like a thing on TikTok where it's like this woman, she goes to the gym, she's like, you guys are ready to work out like a girl? And she says it like that, and then she'll do like, her leg workouts are fucking ridiculous. I feel bad for those guys.
It's because people skip leg day.
They do.
Me
It's
included. I'm not.
oh, I never.
I
hate
try.
it.
I try not to, but it's hard. It's hard.
I do leg. I try to do leg day as soon as I get into the gym. I'm like, do I have the access to get everything done? All right, I'm going for it. The worst one will always be, I think, last Sunday I had to do single leg squats. My God, my hamstrings were dead.
Fuck that.
It was single leg squats and hip thrust. My hamstrings. When I tell you when I got that bar off me, my hamstring was like, you don't like us
Your
anymore.
legs were like jello.
I almost fell. My knee buckled for real. All right, that was it. Thank you for listening.
See you guys.
Peace. Work out. I want to work out with you. Be Peace.
Please.